World War II was the largest and deadliest war in human history. It began in 1939 and ended in 1945. More than 60 countries were involved and over 70 million people died. The war was fought across Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Pacific Ocean. Two major sides fought against each other. The Allies included the United States, Britain, the Soviet Union, China, and many others. The Axis powers included Germany, Italy, and Japan. But how did this massive conflict begin? The story starts with the end of World War I. Germany was punished harshly in the Treaty of Versailles in 1990. They lost land, had to pay money, and could not build a large army. Many Germans were angry and poor. In the 1930s, a man named Adolf Hitler rose to power in Germany. In the 1930s, a man named Adolf Hitler rose to power in Germany. He led the Nazi Party and promised to restore German pride. Hitler built a powerful army even though it was against the rules. He blamed other groups, especially Jewish people, for Germany's problems. This dangerous way of thinking is called anti-Semitism. At the same time, Italy, led by Benito Mussolini, wanted to build an empire. And Japan wanted to take over lands in Asia for more resources. Together, Germany, Italy, and Japan formed the Axis powers. They wanted to control more land and expand their power. In 1939, Hitler invaded Poland. Britain and France declared war on Germany. This was the official start of World War II. Germany's army moved quickly, using a new strategy called Blitzkrieg, or lightning war. They attacked with planes, tanks, and soldiers all at once. Within months, Germany took control of much of Europe. By 1940, Germany had conquered France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Only Britain was left standing strong in Western Europe. Hitler tried to defeat Britain by bombing cities in the Battle of Britain. But the Royal Air Force defended the skies, and Britain did not give up. Meanwhile, in Eastern Europe, Hitler broke his promise to the Soviet Union. In 1941, Germany invaded the Soviet Union in a huge attack. This became one of the biggest and bloodiest battles in history. Far away, Japan was growing more aggressive. On December 7, 1941, Japan attacked the United States at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. Ships and airplanes were destroyed, and many Americans were killed. This brought the United States into the war on the side of the Allies. Now the war truly became global. Fighting happened in the deserts of Africa, the jungles of Asia, and the islands of the Pacific. In North Africa, Allied forces fought German General Erwin Rommel, known as the Desert Fox. In the Soviet Union, the Battle of Stalingrad became a turning point. The Soviet army pushed back the Germans after months of brutal fighting. In the Pacific, the US Navy fought Japan in great sea battles. One important victory was the Battle of Midway in 1942. After this, the US slowly began pushing Japan back across the Pacific. Life during the war was very hard. In Nazi-occupied Europe, Jewish people and other groups were sent to concentration camps. Millions were killed in what is known as the Holocaust. This was one of the darkest tragedies in human history. Back home, people rationed food, worked in factories, and supported the soldiers. Women took on new jobs while men went to fight. Children collected metal and helped with the war effort. By 1944, the Allies were ready to take back Western Europe. On June 6, 1944, known as D-Day, Allied soldiers landed on the beaches of Normandy in France. It was the largest sea invasion in history. After heavy fighting, the Allies pushed Germany back. By 1945, Allied forces closed in on Germany from the west, while the Soviets advanced from the east. In April 1945, Adolf Hitler died in his bunker in Berlin. Soon after, Germany surrendered. In Europe, the war was over. But the war still raged in the Pacific. Japan refused to surrender. The United States decided to use a powerful new weapon, the atomic bomb. In August 1945, bombs were dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The destruction was massive and thousands of lives were lost. Days later, Japan finally surrendered. World War II had ended. The aftermath of the war was enormous. Entire cities were destroyed. Millions of families were broken apart. The world had seen destruction on a scale never before imagined. But from the ruins, countries tried to rebuild. The United Nations was created to help nations work together and prevent future wars. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged as the two strongest powers. This started a new era called the Cold War. World War II changed the world forever. It showed how dangerous dictators and unchecked power can be. It introduced new technology like radar, jet engines, and nuclear weapons. It gave rise to new ideas about human rights and global cooperation. And it reminded everyone of the terrible cost of war. The most important lesson of World War II is clear. Peace, fairness, and understanding are the only ways to keep the world safe. If nations forget these lessons, history can repeat itself. World War II was a time of great struggle, but also of great courage. Millions of ordinary people showed bravery in extraordinary times. And today, we remember their sacrifices so we can live in peace. That is the story of World War II, from start to finish.